Hi everybody, Paul Cameron here from SpeedUpMyJobSearch.com with a clip from our monthly jobs-driven networking group, which meets in Wheaton, Illinois every third Thursday. Let's take a look.
Well, as Paul mentioned, I'm with WorkNet DuPage. I'm Jim Fergle. I am one of the managers there. My bailiwick is teaching job search workshops and running the job club. We are a job training organization. We're in Lisle. We are a one-stop or career one-stop center. We have a resource room. I've stocked it with something like $50,000 worth of books on everything from job search to starting your own business to career exploration. And then we have a resource room that is open for you. We do subscribe to A to Z databases. So we pay for that. You can come in and do your research, your data mining, as we say, to research companies and find people's names. The job search boot camp is what I do, 5 mornings, 8:30 to 12 noon. From research, the resumes, the applicant tracking systems, which I'll talk a little bit about today, the whole interview process and interviews. My son Mark did an internship with Paul, and he was on a job interview dinner with someone who wants him to do some marketing, and he was telling me what this guy does, and the guy's going to give him leads, and he knows all these people. He says, you know, Paul was talking about networking and connections and all this stuff. And I said, hello. You know, so that means you have to talk to people. And if you're shy and introverted like I am, and I am, it's difficult, even more difficult in the job search, because you have to extend yourself beyond your comfort zone. I have Surfing the Waves of Workplace Change, and it's going to cover a lot of things. I actually have a shark in the wave chasing a little surfer. I had it animated, but I couldn't find it, because I feel that's what's happening with all the changes going on in the world. We're trying to keep ahead and not get chewed up by all the changes. And there's so many. Even today I was just telling Paul, there's stuff happening every moment, especially with this artificial intelligence, data mining, and all this stuff. We've all heard it. Robots are going to replace people, right? They're kicking us out of the workplace. And I'm like, wow, you know, what are we going to do, you know, if we don't have jobs? You know, because jobs is so much of our life. So I thought what I'd do is give an explanation using my hobby, which is I cast metal soldiers at a Civil War reenactment, to show kids what life was like before Atari and cell phones, where you actually had to use your hands to make your own toys. And so I would have a block of metal, and we're going to call that the old economy. Okay, this is the way things used to be. I have a kettle here and fire, and there's a lot of disruptors coming into the economy right now. We have globalization, technology for sure, and I'll be talking about that. We have demographics. There is more information in the world now in the last probably 10 to 15 years than there has been in all history. I had someone who's a project manager, and he kept saying to me, I just want a permanent job. But I said, your job title tells you it's going to be temporary. And to get that change in our head is difficult. And that's what's happening to us, is we have to transform. We have to constantly reinvent or transform ourselves. The changes are coming so rapidly that you have to be knowledgeable of what's happening out there. I also worked for the unemployment office and was laid off 5 times in 2 years during a recession. And one of my short stints as a recruiter, during the recession, I interviewed with this guy, and he's telling me, oh, we're going to find all these jobs. I said, are you crazy? It's a recession. And he told me, he says, companies are hiring all the time. You work for the unemployment office. Your perception is only who's laying off. You have to switch your perception to see who's hiring, and it's not in the want ads. Business Ledger is a wealth of information about what's happening in the counties. Elk Grove Village is the largest industrial park in the United States. Where did I learn that? In the business ledger. And they also have, they interview CEOs and presidents and owners of companies. It's called Coffee Break. They give contact information. And for the last, I'm going to say over 3 years, when asked about the trends that they have coming up, 90% of them have talked about we're expanding staff, we're hiring. Now, do you go into Want Ad to find that? Or there's a Want Ad right there. You see, we got to think differently. I had a guy in here, you know, everyone talks about now you have to have a degree, right? Years ago, I had a guy come in who was in manufacturing. He was, I call a tinkerer. He only had a high school degree, but he worked on the space shuttle and the deep sea rover for James Cameron and the Titanic. AI in manufacturing is this digital manufacturing. AI is coming in there all over the place. Have a guy in my boot camp job search right now. He's 78. He's finished a contract where he actually implemented robotics, and they didn't lay off anyone in the factory. They trained them all on how to operate the machinery. The key is going to be accepting and embracing change. Let's talk Chicago. Now, you and I have all heard the news that all of the companies are leaving Chicago, Illinois, right? They're all leaving. Well, that's why I dig into the depths of business ledger and cranes. Chicago now has 150, I'm sorry, correction. They're the 4th largest city with the amount of corporate headquarters, and they're at 50 right now, with more on the way. What are we trying to do right now? Get Amazon, right? Apple, all these companies. And I'm like, okay, why would we want to be in Chicago? Well, for one, we have 6 interstate highways. It's a 6-hour drive to any major Midwest city. Extensive multimodal transportation. My son was in freight forwarding. You know, you see those things on the rail cars, those boxes? That's what they're talking about, freight. We have 6 of 7 Class 1 railroads that cross through here. We have a highly skilled workforce. We have 19 accredited colleges and universities. And of those 50 headquarters that are here now, global, 1 headquarters job equals 2.5 additional jobs that are created in Chicago to support that. They want airports where they can fly into and fly out of. You know, it's incredible. Here's the book. I ran across this on LinkedIn, someone's top 10 books that should be on your business shelf. And I can't remember the author's name because my wife won't give me the book, but it's called Obstacle is the Way. You are being thrown obstacles. I encourage you to read sales books by Zig Ziglar, Tom Hopkins, things like that, because you have to overcome objections. But since I was in the Army, I had flipped it open, and I saw that they analyzed 100 battles throughout history. Only 6 of those battles were won with a head-on attack. The other 94 battles were won by outflanking the opposition. And one of the things, and this is why Paul and I are so big on networking, is because the obstacle when you're applying online is that applicant tracking system. And 70% of job seekers cannot get through that because they don't know the game and the importance of keywords. And if you figure that out, you get to a human, how are they looking at that? So those are the 2 obstacles that you're hitting when you apply online. But wouldn't it be better if you become known by someone who can pull you out? Google gets over 2 million resumes per year. They're getting 5 resumes per minute. How do you become known?
I hope that was helpful for you, and please check out the rest of our YouTube channel for more tips and strategies to help you with your job search. Just look for Speed Up My Job Search, all one word, or use the link on your screen now. Now, if you'd like to join us at our next meeting, just go to drivestaff.com/JDNG for details. Each month we cover a different aspect of networking to help you sharpen your networking skills and to help you build your network with the other attendees. Now, if the location or the time doesn't work for you, we do have an online version available as well, and you can still network with us in our online private member forum. I'd love to meet you at the next one, so I hope you can make it. Thanks for watching.